How long have you been in the business now?
A long time.
The sound you've played has obviously changed a fair bit over the years. Has it been a conscious thing? Has it been something you just found yourself one day suddenly go, oh, I've kind of shifted in my sound? Or do you see a constant kind of theme through the whole lot for you?
I think my sound sort of changed a lot because I get bored really, really quickly. And I'm going through one of those real bored stages at the moment. But I remember I got really, really bored with house music where I just totally had enough. I couldn't listen to another 4/4 beat, and the bass lines, the disco-y bass line, all that was just driving me up the wall when the whole electro clash thing came around, which is probably the most recent example. But I think you're also only as good as the music being released and produced at a certain point of time. So if there's nothing other than if you want to transgress and become a retroist sort of DJ that you just end up playing the hits of the last 5 years, you have to be inspired by what is actually happening now. And in a sense, now is a great time, as much as I might turn around and go, there's a lot of shit music out there, but there's such a wealth of great music across all the genres that I think you can sort of stick in your sound and your genre a lot more easily than maybe you did 5 years or 10 years ago, where at times you'd go for weeks and you couldn't buy a record, or you couldn't find anything that suited your sound or that inspired you.
So are you still, actively out there buying music? Because most of it's coming to you. You obviously get a lot of promo sent to you these days.
Yeah, I remember thinking years ago, wouldn't it be great to be getting all these promos? And then when finally you start to get promos, and I think it's probably excessive these days as well, where you get 100 a week, it drives you up the wall, because it feels like a full-time job, having to go through things, fill out reactions, then try and, spend a few hours on Beatport finding, all the other stuff that has slipped through, or that, just little labels are releasing. So I try and spend like 2 hours in the morning when I get up in the morning, just going through
the
inbox and also just having a quick look online.
Yeah. And so you're getting sent them predominantly now as MP3s?
Yeah.
Is there anything that's kind of happens that makes you more likely to listen to a track, or is it really just a case of methodically working through them?
I think you have to definitely have a bit of an open mind about it. As cynical as you can feel at times when you see another Will Bailey or Calvatron remix come through, going, they do one every week, and every week they sound the same. So I think it becomes incredibly selective of what you do reach for first, or the labels that, maybe the previous release grabbed you. But I still think you have to have just a really, really open mind, and a lot of it just depends on the mood you're in at the time. When some days you can listen to stuff and you're really amped, and some days you're just tired and you just feel like anything over 128 is way too fast and just pounding your head.
For the first coffee in the morning?
Yeah. I think for me, like Wednesday, Thursdays are generally where I feel my head is the clearest to doing any genuine listening and being, pretty sort of subjective about what's coming your way.
So are you getting a chance then to listen to, other DJ sets? You listen to podcasts anymore, or is it more just a case of the music that comes through?
Just the music, really. It's there's just only so much time in a day to listen to all the releases, all the promos, let alone apply yourself in the studio trying to actually finish off a few tracks of your own. It's you've just got to draw the line somewhere and go, well, I don't have the time to sit there and listen to another 60-minute podcast, or I would love to have the time to sit down and listen to what Digweed's done this week or last weekend, but it just never happens anymore.
So what sort of percentage now these days are you doing of your own work versus remix work? Do you have a lot of it?
I'm a bit of a hypocrite, because I decided that remixing was a mugs game, but then because you don't get anything out of it. It actually really pisses me off these days, because you talk about the number of promos you get, And years ago, it would just be a promo, you know, track on A, flip it over, track on B, and maybe B2.
Yeah.
That was really easy listening. Now, because everyone's not getting any money for remixing, except maybe the really, really big guys, everyone's willing to do it for free.
Yeah.
So you get these packages coming through with 10 remixes on it.
Yeah, so it's a track, and we're going to try and get enough remixes. So
Yeah,
one
we'll
you'll
cover
probably
all our
like.
bases, and all these guys said that they'll remix it for nothing. So,
Yeah.
you know, we throw enough shit at it, something's going to stick. But
Remix, dub, re-rub.
Yeah.
yeah,
The remix.
it's crazy.
re-edit.
So once when you could fire through 2 tracks in 10 minutes, it's taking you an hour to even knock off one track by the time you go through all the mixes.
And you've got to get through the Greg Churchill remix as well.
So
But we all go to that one first,
So
obviously.
remixing's a mugs game because no one's making any money out of it. But I suppose you're getting your name out there,
Yeah.
which creates the other problem that once when everyone wanted to be a DJ and then everyone became a DJ, now everyone wants to be a producer and everyone's becoming a producer. Hence why it takes days to even go through one genre on Beatport,
Yeah.
wading through all the rubbish. But having said that, you know, and if someone else offers a remix, yeah, I'll do the remix. Though there have been a few better deals this year, just asking for percentages
Okay.
rather than a fee. And I think even if you can just negotiate a small percentage,
Yeah.
even if it's only 5% or 10%, there is, because there's always that chance that something will happen or blow up or actually start to sell. So I'm sure these guys that are doing it every week are probably, you know, getting a good fee or a good percentage, but it is becoming frustrating with just the sheer number and the fact that I'm sure that if people were getting paid a fee to remix, the number of remixes on packages would be tiny because labels wouldn't be able to afford it.
That's also the quality of a quantity factor.
Yeah.